Good morning, YouTube. Well, at least it's morning where I'm at right now. Excuse my voice, I'm a little sick, but I wanted to make this video for you guys. I have a few things that I'm going to be doing to the Beretta. I ordered some parts from Wilson Combat a while back, and I just never really installed them. And I was going to do it off camera, especially the short reach trigger, but I figured, hey, let's try and get through it on camera and see what happens. So first things first, there's a gun on the table, and I like to safety check them first. So nothing inside, no mag, and since we're gonna work with the gun disassembled, let's just go ahead and pop this guy off. So there's that. Just lower the hammer. Alright, now some of the parts that I'm using, or that I will be installing, I got a chrome silicone 14-pound recoil spring, and this is from Wilson Combat. I have the Shok-Buff recoil buffer. Excuse me. And I got a full-length steel fluted guide rod versus the plastic one that's in here. And I'm going to attempt to install the short reach trigger, and all this really does is it moves the position back of the trigger. So instead of it being here, starting here, it would start somewhere back here, which is better for me because I have smaller hands, I should say. And we're doing the Wilson Combat checkered oversized magazine release. So I figure we'll probably start with the easy stuff first and do the short reach trigger last. Some of the tools that I'm going to be using is just this little pick that I found in my toolbox. It's just a flat end and like a little scoop type deal. I'm using just a couple of the Wheeler punches here, the smaller ones that it comes with, a flat tip screwdriver to take off the grip panels, and I may or may not use this gun block. Really all this does is it helps you provide a surface for the gun so you don't scratch it up. It's soft and it doesn't slip on the table. And that's about it. Everything else is just kind of manipulating with your hands and or little picks and tools and things like that. So first things first, let's go ahead and get out the new hammer spring, the recoil, if I could open it, the fluted guide rod, and the Shok-Buff. Set this off to the side, and let's do this. Alright, so let's just kind of get this started here. All you gotta do is put the guide rod inside of the spring, and then you're gonna want to put the Shok-Buff over it. Now what the Shok-Buff does is it reduces the wear and tear on your frame from the slide repeatedly hitting the frame, and that's all it does. I mean, take it with a grain of salt if you like. I mean, I just want to try it out, see if it makes any difference. I've shot Beretta pistols before, and I just want to see what the deal is with this, and hopefully it works. I don't know. So you just kind of put this like this in the channel. You want the little, see how it kind of moves a little bit in there? You want that freely moving, and there's like a little groove that it fits in here. So that's it for this. Let's go ahead and just set that aside. And now let's do the mag release. So to do that, of course, you got to take off your grip panels, and you got to take off both of them. You can't just do one. Never taken this gun apart, so bear with me. I'm going to the range later today, and I kind of want to have these parts installed before I go. So again, just unscrew these and they pop right off. Put that back in there. I'll probably get different grips later on, but that's for another day. I'm not too worried about that right now. Okay, probably clean this up before I put it back together. There's some leftover oil from the OEM, so cool. Alright, so let's get the extended mag release out. It should be a really simple install. All you gotta do is kind of press up on it from this side of it, the flat side. It should just pop right out, and just be careful because it does have two plungers and a spring that just flew out at me, so take note of that. And here's the mag release. It feels like could be plastic. Yeah, it's plastic, and the one we're putting in is metal, so that's kind of nice. And the texturing here is a lot different, as you can see, versus the standard round one. And I'm lining them up correctly here, and you can see kinda, hopefully, how far that sticks out past the other one. So that's the idea here. So let me just figure out which way this thing needs to go. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, so if you look in here, there's a longer channel and then a small channel. We're going to be working from the outside. So what you do is you grab the little plunger and the spring, you grab the other one, and you want to orientate it like this. Hopefully you guys can see that. So I'm going to try to use gravity to help me here. And again, this is the longer side, so we're going to use the plunger with the longer piece. We're going to angle this like this. And this one, it might take a little bit of finesse to get that in, which may or may not be the easiest thing. I'm struggling with this in real time, guys, so no special tools or anything. Might use just whatever I find around here. Well, yep, that just flew across the room. Luckily it came right back here. Alright, that could have been pretty bad. I wouldn't have been able to take the gun to the range. So take note of that, guys. Oh, that's hilarious. Alright, patience is key, I guess. Patience is key. Don't try to over force it. Let me see if I could use this again, but maybe the pick side. Just put my thumb over it. Because of the angle of this thing, it's not very friendly. Let me see. I'm scrolling through some instructions here. See if I can find anything to make it easier. So I think basically what you want is for it to, like, the spring to come up in a way. Alright guys, I'm going to pause the video really quick and I'll be right back when I get this in, hopefully. Alright guys, so it did take a little bit of finessing, but it's in. You kind of want to get the spring like in an arc upwards angle, and so they're both kind of arc in, and then just pop them both in at the same time. So then to reinstall this, all you gotta do is start from the side where the mag release usually goes, and you kind of just want to pop it in. So you gotta just place it. See if I can get a good angle for you guys. Let's see here. Just place it in there. Hold on, give me 1 sec. So yeah, you just kind of bear with me for 1 sec, guys. This is my first time, I swear. You guys can probably tell. Okay, so what you kind of got to do is slide it in the back first, and then I just moved it out of it. Okay, that was cool. Okay, so it's back in there now. Do the back, and now it's supposed to just pop right in. Bear with me, guys. Sorry if I'm being a little extra quiet here. I just want to get this right since I am taking this to the range. I'm sorry if I don't have the best angles either. This is proving to be kind of difficult for me. I've never done any of this type of stuff, so. Alright, let me pause the video really quick and I'll show you guys once I get it back in. Alright guys, I'm back. Good news and bad news. Good news is the gun shoots great. How do I know that? I went to the range. I ran out of time trying to seat the oversized checkered magazine release, and part of that is I think the tolerances on this are a little too tight. I got it in, but it did not want to move, and I tried oiling a little bit in the back of it where the plungers are, and it did not want to budge at all, and I was not comfortable with that, so I had to force it out for one. Sorry, that was my computer. And it again, it wouldn't move. So I was reading some reviews about it, and apparently I'm not the only one that has had this issue. The tolerances on this thing are generally pretty tight, and I read a couple cases where, especially one guy, he actually contacted Wilson Combat and they sent him a new one, and the new one worked just fine. So I think that's what I'm gonna do for the oversized checkered mag release for this. I'm gonna contact Wilson and see what they have to say about it. Hopefully they can send me a new one, and maybe that one will work fine. And when that does come in, I'll be sure to make a video on that and keep you guys posted. So as you can see, the gun is a little dirty, but this thing shoots like, I don't know, man, it's amazing. I shot about 300 rounds through this yesterday. It's so smooth. The action on this is so smooth. It's ridiculous. I love this. I love this pistol. I have shot Berettas before, and they are generally pretty smooth. I've shot my dad's. He has the exact same pistol, and his has the original plastic guide rod and the spring, and it feels pretty good. But I don't know, man. I don't know if it's a placebo or what, but this steel guide rod fluted with the, I think it's a heavier poundage spring than what's stock, and the Shok-Buff really make a difference. This thing shoots like magic. I love this thing. I was key holding all day yesterday. So anyways, since we're not doing this guy, the oversized checkered mag release, I'm going to set that aside. Again, I'm going to contact Wilson and see what they have to say about it. But we're going to go ahead and install the short reach trigger. Let's see if I can at least get through that on camera. So let me just take off the grip panels really quick. And a quick disclaimer, and I'll probably insert this at the beginning of the video somewhere. None of these modifications that I'm doing enables the gun to shoot faster or anything like that in any way. It's not semi-automatic or anything like that. This is mainly just so it shoots a little better. May shoot a little straighter, I don't know, depending on who you are. But for example, this short reach trigger is not gonna help you fire out rounds any faster than what the gun is capable already. So okay, let's do this. So to do this, I'm gonna grab the tiniest punch I can find, and there's this spring right here that goes on your trigger bar, and we're gonna start. You gotta make sure your hammer is up. So we're gonna start by pulling out that spring, and it actually popped out the wrong way. Here we go. So this needs to come out. You know what? I'm just gonna pop it behind it. Yeah. And then all you gotta do is work this trigger bar out. Got this little scoop tool here that I'm gonna use to pull this out. So put that there. And this spring here that goes on your trigger bar has a little foot, and this goes in this little pinhole here. Hopefully you guys can see that. So we did that. Let me go back for a sec. Okay, so we did that. Now I'm sorry guys, I'm reading through the instructions. This is my first time. So then now you gotta twist this up and out. Your slide release. Let me see that one more time. I'm reading the instructions here and it's not always 100% clear here. Don't want to bend the spring or have that flying. Okay. So be careful not to bend the spring if at all possible. It has this little foot here that fits in there. So then now what you want to do is, I believe we're going to go ahead and remove the pin for the trigger, which is this one right here, and that just slides right out. Let's go ahead and set that to the side, and then if we hold this upside down, we see the trigger comes out with the spring. So the spring was facing just like this in the trigger. So I'm going to keep that just like that. And now let's get our new trigger here. And let me show you guys the differences here. So I'm gonna line the pins up as best as I can, and it's just a tiny bit shorter, that's all. so you don't have to reach as far. So let's go ahead and drop this trigger right back in there, and you kind of want to line up the hole as best as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect for now. We can align that. So you want to drop your spring in. It's easier said than done. Give me one sec, guys. I'm actually gonna go grab a pair of tweezers. So we're back. So what you want to do is line up the trigger here on the right side because of the way the trigger pin is, and just get the pin started. And let me grab these tweezers here now. You're gonna wanna grab this guy, put it in there. Oh man, the trigger pin worked itself forward a little bit. So you're just gonna wanna get this guy in there. And there it is. Once that's in there, just make sure that you can't pull it or anything like that. Alright, so this next part's going to be pretty fun. So, pause the video real quick. So now we're going to put this slide stop back in place, the release. So to do that, you're going to find this little pinhole here, put that in there, twist it like so, and work your slide stop back in. Check for function, works fine. You see how it kind of catches the pin sticks out here, and it kind of stops the pin from backing out. So once that's done, we're gonna work the trigger bar back in, and this is gonna take a little bit of finesse here, just because you have to kind of work the that spring back over it, so that's going to be a little challenging here, but let's see if we can do this on camera. So that spring, the way it was oriented, you want to kind of grab it and pull it back over this way. So let's see if I can do that here. Okay, so let's try this a different way. Didn't quite get the... You know what, I think this... No, it's the right way. So let's just get this started. And the idea here is we're gonna pull the spring back. I almost had it. This is very difficult to do on camera, guys. Peer pressure. I think. Did I get it? I think I got it. Yep. Got it done, fam. So now all we gotta do is position this other little spring here, and again there is a little tiny pinhole here and a groove that this fits in on the bar and the frame itself. So let's go ahead and try to position that without the spring flying anywhere. And there we go. Probably shouldn't have done that without the slide on there, but
looks like she's done. So the trigger would have been a lot further forward. So let's go ahead and pop these grips back on and we'll test for function with the snap cap or something. I don't know. Done. And done. Now this is just the very general kind of how to do it video. I know the quality probably isn't the greatest, but hey, just wanted to show you guys what's up. If anybody had any plans of doing this, totally doable, because I don't know how to do this. So slide stop works, disengages. Ooh, let's see here, look at that, nice. Reset's pretty far though. Let's see where the reset is. Right there, nice, and then pull, right there. Cool, so it looks like everything works. It's actually a nicer color too. This almost feels like it's plastic coated or something, but this Wilson Combat one's a lot nicer. So that's the end of the video, guys. Again, none of these little upgrades modify the way that the gun shoots as far as the fire rate or anything like that. And the only reason I'm saying all this is because of all the YouTube nonsense, the demonetization and all that. I do not want my account to be in bad standing, so that's why I'm reiterating that now. Again, sorry for all the edits and all the cuts. I will reach out to Wilson about the checkered mag release and see what they have to say about it, and that will be a new video. I have 2 more videos planned. I have an update video for you guys on the Kimber. That one produced some very unexpected results, or I guess maybe expected considering the work they did to it, and I have to say I'm very happy with the results. But again, that will be another video. And I have a cleaning and disassembly video of my HK VP9, so stay tuned for that. And of course the takedown and cleaning and reassembly of my Kimber stainless 2. So also stay tuned for that video. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that button. And if you want to be notified of my new videos, go ahead and hit the little notification bell. And I'll see you guys next time.